This is my first talk ever at VideoBrains. I'm very nervous. I've never spoken to a big crowd before, bear with me. So my talk is about how we become our own characters in video games. I made a mistake with the subtitle. It's supposed to be, does life imitate video games, or do video games imitate life? Yes.
Yeah, video games are that.
So first things first, this might be like a really boring thing to listen to, but I'm a bit mentally ill. I'm not straight, I'm not cis, and just thinking about those stuff can really, like, if I'm allowed to swear, it can fuck up your identity very badly, and you basically sort of like lose track of who you are, and so like you lose yourself to the point where you don't really know if you have any characteristics or personalities, and then you look at people and try to take in their traits that seem cool, which could be healthy to an extent because you have like a bit of admiration towards them, but you don't want to actually like be a person because that's not cool. And you also like dissociate to the point where you don't know what you are, which is the reason why video games are crucial to ground yourself. And so how can video games help with all this? Character customization. You're pretty much who you want to be, you can venture in your own world. You're your own protagonist, and you're basically the center of the world. You're basically in control of your life. But I just don't feel like that's relatable in my case, because one, there's limitations as to how you can look. Like Walter White up there doesn't really look like Walter White. I mean, it's close to it, but it's not completely the same. I think that Beavis and Butthead's like pretty cool, but yeah, not supposed to be me, but it doesn't really look like me. So yeah, like even if you tried to make your own character, or I mean, as an Asian person especially, like trying to make your own character in Dark Souls or something, it doesn't really look like you, and there's something very off about it, because it's you, but it's not you at the same time. It's created with a computer. It is based off your own choices, but it's just not you. Like, you look too pretty, and it's just not you. And on the other hand, you have more like cartoony / like more distinct styles, like Pokemon. You don't have that many options though, so like even if you try to make yourself, it's not you. Like, I'm not a handsome boy like that. That's not me. And also in these type of games, you're like, so since you're the protagonist, you have a massive story wrapped around you, and it's mostly about saving the world. I'm not a hero. I'm not the type of person. I like mundane stuff. I like to like, I like hamburgers and stuff like that. And which results into you feeling like more off, like this isn't me. But I understand that it can be a coping mechanism for some people to escape their world for a bit because they're just feeling really, really bad. And I mean, I do get that too, and I play video games because I just want to like forget about stuff. And like, I don't know, I really like playing Miitomo, but it's not very me because they sort of address you as a different person, so it's not like you're not really yourself. So what I thought was good for me was just like faceless / nameless characters who seem less significant, more mundane, in a smaller scaled story, and I feel like that's more relatable, at least for me. So I'm going to talk about a couple of games. One of them is Hotline Miami. So you're a nameless character, though you do have a fan-made name called Jacket, which is like similar to, for example, like how people call the narrator in Fight Club Jack, stuff like that. And I just feel like your personality can really manifest depending on what items you pick up. So I like using melee weapons in this game. I never really use guns unless I want to like have the attention of NPCs or like people who are trying to kill me. I especially like to use the katana. I don't know why, because melee weapons don't really make a difference in this game. They're just kind of like an aesthetic thing. I probably use the katana because I'm Japanese. Yeah, I'm a stereotype. And I use like machetes and things more frequently than crowbars or baseball bats, fire axe. But at the same time, I'm very bad at this game, so I'm just probably going with like what I'm very comfortable with. And there's also, I feel like there's a lot of personality going into what mask you choose. I like to stay on the safe side by choosing Dennis. Start with a knife. You're not really invincible, but I feel like I am. Or the unicorn mask, Peter, that silences any gunshots. I like playing games on easy mode. And Ted, the dog mask, and dogs don't attack, which is cool because I don't want dogs to attack me. I'm very scared. And it just makes me realize that I don't have a reckless personality, although that's what the game suggests you to do. So like, you play in your own style, and that sort of makes you realize, oh, like I'm this kind of person. That's cool. And also, like, not much is revealed about this jacket person. We all know that he is sort of based off Ryan Gosling / a driver from Drive. But there's like not that many things specified about him. Like, he is white, but he could be something else because you can't really see the sprite because it's all top down. And you get to know him via other characters, but they never reveal anything about themselves. So like, you get the bartender saying like, oh, how's it been? Like, I heard you broke up with your girlfriend, how's that going? But you never hear anything from Jacket whatsoever. And then scenes start turning nightmarish, and you start thinking whether anything's real or not, so you start to question reality. But at the same time, I've only started playing Hotline Miami 2, and I heard there's a story to Jacket, so yeah. Apparently there's something revealed about him, but I'm not sure what it is. I'll find out. But anyway, yes, I tend to relate to this character a lot because you sort of like get to control who they are, and through getting items and things and how you play. Okay, the next game I want to talk about is Binding of Isaac. I can relate to him a lot because I cry a lot. So basically, you're a naked baby who can turn into anything. You can turn into a mom, you can turn into a cat, you can turn into a fly, you can turn into poo. And you have a default name, which is Isaac, and that's what your mom calls you. But you go by other names and identities as well. Like Maggie and Eden could be genderless, but I mean, like Isaac could be genderless, but like could present as feminine, which I sort of identify as. Can also be a devil. So like, even a naked baby has different identities, so why can't I have different identities? Or like, why can't I find myself through this little naked baby who cries a lot? Again, you sort of have a freedom of choice as to what items you can pick up. So you can be a very holy knife, like double knife wielding, Rambo blind red Bomberman with a conjoined fetus, and you're dressed as a mom, and you have like friends, and you have an eye floating, and you have your own head floating. Like, you could basically be anything in this game. Like, there's a lot of freedom to it. And it's like, I do tend to pick up items solely for like an aesthetic choice, and then that sort of makes you realize like, oh, okay, like I play this game like through like aesthetic choices. Okay, like I like to be pretty in video games or whatever. I'm not funny enough to pick up like poop items because I like to be in control, and poop items are really hard to control. And like there's just so many things going in my life that are hard that I don't want to make this game hard for me by picking up poop items. And I do tend to go for like really OP items, but yeah, I just sometimes find myself like taking other items and making sacrifices to look good. And last but not, I can't remember the phrase. Last but not least, my partner, who's sitting over there, red shirt, my partner Tom and I are making a game called 29. That's me, that's my partner. So this is a game we're making as a collective called Humble Grove. And it's a narrative-based point-and-click adventure game where you venture through like environments. And this is an actual flat that exists in Camberwell. So yeah, we're gonna make this game based off real places and real people. Some people are in this game, and we haven't got like permission from them, but we don't really care. Okay, where did it go? There it is. And these characters do have names, and I mean they technically are not faceless nor nameless, but it is a very like meta game because you can build characters depending on what dialogue you choose, or like depending on what sort of person you are. So there's not really any consequences as to what dialogue you choose. So like you can solely become a character based on your personality. And I mean, it's kind of fun for me as well because you get to like choose dialogue, and you're like, okay, I'm maybe this sort of person, like maybe I'm an optimistic person. Like I didn't really know that about myself because like my mind's sort of turning into shit at the moment. So obviously identifying with characters in games that tend to be violent don't make me a blood-crazed maniac. I don't go around like flinging like baseball bats around, killing people and eating babies. Don't do that. Because one, people, or like mostly adults, like old people, would be like, oh, like video games kill people, like that's what the army does, like that's what VR does, it like trains you to become like a gun-wielding maniac who kills people. That's not it. Like I just want to enjoy like trying to like find myself, trying to build up my personality by playing video games. And so like a character doesn't 100% define you. Like I'm not Jacket, I'm not Isaac, or I'm not the characters in 29. But you pick out parts that you identify with and sort of let that resonate with you, which I think is a really good thing because I don't know, it might make you a better person, I don't know. But I mean, it sort of builds up your personality, and I just think that's really cool. And no one's stopping you from being your OP character, and like it's good to have confidence in being your own character, but like just don't beat people up because that's not cool. So like just be as strong as you are, try to be yourself through like video game characters, just be your own Mary Sue, who cares? Just go for it. So yeah, that was a bit short, but that was my talk. Thanks for listening. That's our game 29. We have a Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, Patreon. Please donate if you can. Thanks very much.